Hey everyone, it's Jared, and today we're talking about AWS CloudWatch. Now, if you caught my last video, we were able to set up our AWS Cloud Network. Now we're going to add some security onto that network using CloudWatch. So first what we'll do is we'll install CloudWatch and we'll download that onto our network. And then we're going to create a really cool monitoring dashboard with a couple event triggers that's going to show us when security events happen. So let's dig in here and get started. All right, so I'm in my AWS console home, and the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create an IAM rule. So I already have it here in my recently viewed. You could click here and just type in IAM, and then we'll select the role here that we're going to get started with. All right, so first thing we're going to do is just click create role, AWS service, and then you're going to select EC2. Go ahead and select next. We're going to put on some policies here. So there's two policies that we want. The first one is Amazon EC2 role for SSM. So here it is. Add that one in. Add a name, EC2 demo. EC2 demo. It's going to be our role name. We're going to go ahead and create that. It's going to show up there right here. Boom. Now we're going to create another one. Same thing, EC2. This one's going to be a CloudWatch server rule. CloudWatch agent server policy. That's the one we want. Okay, and then we'll say CloudWatch demo. CloudWatch demo. Add that one in. Create that role. Okay. So that's all set. First part's done. Now we're going to go to the EC2 and create EC2 environment here and create an instance. All right, so launch new instance. We're going to go ahead and name this CloudWatch server demo. Okay. Leave this all generic. We're going to add in a key pair. So this key pair is for SSH. So if you want to SSH into your machine, you're going to have to add in a key pair. I already created one. You could create one here, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. And we'll scroll down. This is all fine. We're going to want to add in some advanced stuff. I thought there was something for SSH here as well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and edit the network settings here. And we have SSH, which is a generic thing that's already set up here. So you could SSH into this machine already. But we're going to add in one more security group here. And this one's going to be for HTTPS. So we're going to load that one in. This one shows the port range, and the protocol here is TCP. Then for CIDR, we're going to want to allow all access to this. So we're going to select this, all zeros, and then this little fun one with the little kind of happy face or sideways face. So that's going to work for allowing us access with HTTPS. Next, we're going to go down and select our IAM rule for this one, EC2 demo. And then here in the bash area, I have a little script that we could put in here to update. So apps, go ahead and paste that in, and then we're going to launch that instance. Okay. All right, so let's go over here and take a look here. CloudWatch server demo. So here it is. It's pending here, so we're going to go ahead and access that one. Oh. Well, we're waiting after it comes live. It just takes a couple seconds for it to update here. But once that one's live, we'll connect to it, and then we're going to basically install CloudWatch on here. So go ahead and connect here. Boom. All right, so we're getting in here, and then we're going to add in our CloudWatch installs. All right, great. So now that we're logged in here, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to install the Cloud Agent. So let's go ahead and type in this command here to install the program. It's just this sudo yum install CloudWatch agent. We're going to go ahead and run that. Once the install's finished here, what we're going to want to do is we're going to change some settings and some configurations here. So once we're installed, we have this showing complete. Let's go ahead and add in this other code here so we could get into the install wizard or the configuration wizard for the file. So this is just showing the location where we downloaded this, and then we're accessing this config wizard. Click that, except for you have to do sudo when you do that command. So we'll go ahead and sudo that. And now we're into the configuration wizard. Let's go ahead and set some parameters here. So a lot of the stuff we're going to select as default, but some of the stuff that's not default is a little bit important. So we'll want to pay attention to this part. So this is going to be installed on Linux. Okay, so it's on EC2, so we're going to go ahead and select that. Root is how we're planning on running the agent. Do you want to turn on stats D daemon? Yes, we do. That's going to do some automatic pulls to and from the cloud for us. We can just leave that default collect interval for stats D. I mean, all this stuff is fine. Do we want to monitor metrics for collect D? No, we don't have that installed, so we're not going to do that. Do you want to monitor any host metrics? Yes, we do. CPU metrics? Yes, we do. Yes, we want that. Yes, we want that. Would you like to collect your metrics at high resolution? This is already set for a default of 60 seconds, so that's fine. Here we're going to want to change this to standard, so default metrics is going to be standard. And then our parameters are basically set here. So you could see kind of your code, and you could go through here, make sure that you have everything set up how you want it. Metrics collection interval, run as root, aggregation dimensions, instance ID, and our parameters here. CPU is looking for CPU usage, IO weight. Okay, so that's all good. That looks fine. We're still in the config though, so let's just finish this up. Are we satisfied with the above? Yes. Do we have any existing CloudWatch log agent? No. Do we want to monitor any log files? We do. So we're going to add in the path for log files. That's just var log here. So we're going to go add that in. I have it just copied over there. And then we could stick with the default there. And then we'll say CloudWatch demo for the log stream name. It's fine. How long do we want to keep our logs? I'm just going to say 1 day. Do we want to specify any additional log files? No, we don't. We do not want the X-ray traces, and we do not want to store anything in the SSM parameter store. Okay, so program now exists. Awesome. Let's go back into the file folder where this is stored, and let's go ahead and launch the application. So the file folder is this. So we're going to go ahead and CD into that. Now we're in here. Let's do an ls, or bring this to the top. Let's do an ls in here and just see what we got. We have this config JSON file. This is the one that basically we just created when we ran this config wizard here. So we're going to want to just basically load this whole thing up. I'm going to show you the code for loading up the CW agent. Okay, this we're going to want to run as sudo as well. Let me just go here to the front. Pop in sudo, look at the code, make sure everything looks good. Great, this should run. Perfect. Okay, configuration validation succeeded. That's what you want to see here when you're done with this. So we're done with this part. We have the cloud agent installed onto our machines. We're going to go to kind of like the part 2 of this one, and we could go over getting some of this dashboard and the initial configuration stuff set up for you. Okay, great. So we have the CloudWatch agent installed. Now let's go into CloudWatch and set up our dashboard. So we'll go into CloudWatch. You could also type it in the search. And we'll go over here on the left-hand side. It says dashboards. And then I have my test dashboard, which you can take a look at. We have just some things that we're monitoring here, and a lot of these dashboards you can put like a ton of different alerts, a ton of different security events that you want to take a look at. But we're going to just keep it super simple. We're going to go ahead and create a 2-item dashboard that's going to monitor network traffic, and we're also going to monitor CPU utilization. And then what we'll do is we'll test those two and see if we can trigger some alerts here and get this thing to work. So let's create the demo dashboard, and then it's going to ask us to add in a widget. So let's just do a line chart for this first one. Then what we're going to do is we're going to select some metrics. So this is the information that is going to be analyzed here. We're going to go to EC2. We're going to go to the peer instance metrics. So we're going to set this basically onto the computer that we're going to be monitoring. So I'm going to find network in, and then what we're going to do is we're going to look here in this section here where it's showing us all these different metrics. We're going to find the machine that we want to monitor. So it's our public server demo machine. All right, so we're going to create that widget. All right, bam. So we have this one here set up. Next, let's add in our second widget, which is an alert. I've already created the alert, but let's go ahead and I'll show you how I did that. Or an alarm. So in alarm section, we'll just go to the all alarms, and then we'll go ahead and create an alarm. We're going to set the metric on this one to, this one is going to be for CPU utilization. So CPU, let me see if that brings anything up. Utilization. Okay, so we have CPU utilization, and we're going to find our machine that we want to plug this into. It's going to be this public server demo. Okay, so we'll select that metric, and we are going to give this alert some conditions here. So I am going to do this for like a 1 minute period. Oh, let's do 5 minutes. That's fine. What was it before? 10 minutes? 5 minutes, that's fine. This is going to be a static alert. This is just going to be a little bit easier. Anytime the threshold goes over, let's just take a baseline of, let's say 10. Anything goes over 10, then we're going to get an alert. All right? Don't need anything there, so we're going to go ahead and set that. Okay, and in alarm, we're going to send an email to me. Next, alarm name is going to be CPU utilization demo. Okay. All right, perfect. So we have our alarm set. All right. So let's go in here and let's add this to the dashboard. We can do it a couple different ways, but we'll just go through the dashboard. Go to demo, and then we're going to plus an alarm status. So we'll add that in. Here's the one we want. And we're going to create that widget. All right, perfect. Okay, so now we have our dashboard basically set up. You could organize it a little bit by adding some of this text in here. So you can just kind of say charts, and then we also want to separate it by alerts. Add this in. Add these widgets, and this is just really going to be for organization. I'm going to pull this over, put up my charts on the top, stretch this out, and then I'm going to put my alerts down underneath. It's a little bit bigger. Oops, not that big. Of course. Of course, for the demo, I have to do this. Every other time, it's fine. So, we'll switch that around. Bring that there, and we're going to bring that there. All right, so a bunch of wasted time there. I'll just fast forward through that. Okay, so now we have this organized a little bit. We have our network traffic in, we have our CPU utilization. So let's go ahead and trigger some of these and see what we got. All right, so what I got on the screen here is I opened up the instance of our public demo machine here. So this is the one that we're monitoring for security events. And what we're going to try and do right now is trigger our CPU utilization alarm. So to do this, I'm going to use the stress command. And well, I downloaded this stress program that's going to basically overload all the cores on our computer for 60 seconds, and we should see an alert here. So I'm going to go ahead and run that right now, and it's working in our system right now. So it takes a couple minutes to go through, and it probably will take a couple minutes for us to see the alert go through. So all right, so finally we have the CPU utilization alarm going off right here. You can see that it's been triggered by the action that we did with running this stress command. It just took a little while for it to actually come through on our end on the dashboard. But yeah, we see our alert happening right here. We could go back to CloudWatch, and we could see that there's an alarm going off right now. This shows all the alarms that are going off currently. So boom, we have that one working. We could go back to our dashboard, and next we can trigger this network in alarm. So let's do that next. Hey, what's up, guys? Just wanted to wrap this up and show you guys what we're doing basically to trigger our network in. This is not really an alert per se, but it's just a graph that's showing us packets that are coming into the network. So what I did here on my server here was I just pinged google.com, and it's starting to generate, as you can see, some spikes in the graph here. And we're seeing a little bit of more activity. This thing's just a little bit hard to see because everything's so small on here. We could view in the metrics to see if we can see this a little bit better. But we could also set an alert to, you know, if traffic spikes over a certain certain amount of packets. So 19.5 million, maybe something like that. We would have an alert if it went over. But all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed our CloudWatch demo. We set up the CloudWatch agent, we set up a CloudWatch dashboard, and we set up some alerts and some graphs to show you guys activity and how you can track security events that happen. So if you have any questions, of course, talk to our group or let us know, and we'd be happy to go over anything with you guys.